Hi everyone. Today we are going to unpack a term called ISO 42001. Let's understand what exactly this standard is, why does your organization needs one, and why did the experts propose it in the first place? Let's crack on. So what exactly is ISO 42001? Guys, ISO 42001 is the world's first international standard for managing artificial intelligence management system. So think of it not as a rigid set of technical rules, but more as a strategic playbook. So it provides a structured framework to help any organization, regardless of their sizes, big or small. It helps them responsibly govern their use of AI. So the standard is all about building trust, ensuring reliability, and harnessing AI's power safely and ethically. Now there is this question get asked, why did we need this ISO 42001 in the first place? Well, we know AI is moving at an unprecedented speed and it is in a process to disrupt every industry, right? So there were a lot of questions that we did not have an answer to, things like ethical dilemmas, things like transparency issues and the security issues. So experts from all nooks and corners of the world, they sat together and they created this structured approach so that organizations who are using AI, they should be able to address all these challenges. They should be able to cater to all these risks or the well, I would not call the word dangerous, but yeah, these are more of the risks at the moment. So ethical dilemmas would include things like how do we prevent the bias in our algorithm? You know that AI models, they literally live on data, the kind of data that we provide. They would make decisions, they would identify patterns according to the data. So if there is a bias in data, how are we going to address that? Because once that bias reaches the model, it may amplify or augment that bias, that to an extent that it starts to probably discriminate certain communities or probably certain genders. So how do we ensure that we are making the ethical systems? The second issue was really around the transparency. Say, for instance, if I am building an AI system, how do I explain why my AI system is making a certain decisions? Like, what are its reference points? And what are the sources that it is getting those inferences from? Then there are issues related to the security threats, like how do we go about protecting our AI systems from malicious attacks? So ISO 42001 was created to address, these exact chaoses, because it provides organization a common language and a proven path to navigate these challenges. Now let's talk about what are the core components of ISO 42001, like what's really inside the framework. So at its heart, this standard is built on the classic plan, do, check, act model, but it is tailored specifically for AI, and its component includes things like organizational context and leadership. So we understand it all starts at the top, getting the leadership commitment and understanding the AI landscape. Moving on to the planning being the second component, which is all about identifying AI related risks and opportunities. Guys, I'm going to create a different video talking about the AI related risk, because there are so many types of risks that have been identified. So I think that deserves a different video. Okay, coming back to the topic. And then, so identifying the risks and the opportunities and setting clear, measurable action plans, their mitigation strategies. Then moving on to the third component, which is all about support and operation. This is the execution part of it. This is the done part of it. This is the doing part of it. So this phase or this component, it really covers everything from allocating resources, training your team, to actually designing, developing, deploying your AI systems with all the controls in place. Then moving on to the fourth component, which is the performance evaluation. So we all know that uh, whatever we cannot measure, we cannot manage that. So measuring the progress is really important to make any substantial progress. So this component really involves continuous monitoring, making sure that the internal external audits are happening and checking if your AI systems are behaving as intended. Then the last component is the improvement, which means learning from the mistakes and the successes to make your AI management system better over time. So at its heart, it really, the whole thing really forces us to constantly ask the question that are we using AI responsibly, and is it delivering the value that we expect it to? All right, guys, that's all on ISO 42001 today. If you found this video helpful, like that button, share it with your friends and colleagues, and I'd love to hear your comments if your organization is or has started using ISO 42001, or are they leveraging power of AI more like a wild, untamed stallion. Would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you very much. Bye for now.